Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam damai sejahtera untuk kita semua. Perkenalkan, nama saya Anindita Dewanggapuri. Saya mengajar sebagai dosen program studi S1 Sastra Inggris di Universitas Sanata Dharma. Saya menekuni bidang ilmu linguistik, yaitu terkait dengan pragmatik. Dan di universitas saya mengajar beberapa mata kuliah di program studi S1 Sastra Inggris Universitas Sanata Dharma, seperti Introduction to English Linguistics, English Composition 1, Public Speaking, Morphophonology, English Conversation 1, Indonesian Television, English Composition 2, English Conversation 2, Public Relations, dan mata kuliah yang baru saja saya ajarkan di semester ini, yaitu Semantic Pragmatics. Dalam video ini, saya akan menjelaskan deskripsi dan pengelolaan mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics yang meliputi 3 aspek, yaitu delivery, interaction, dan juga assessment. Selanjutnya, saya akan menjelaskan terkait deskripsi mata kuliah. Mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics merupakan mata kuliah wajib tempuh di program studi S1 Sastra Inggris Universitas Sanata Dharma. Mata kuliah ini memiliki jumlah kredit 3 SKS dan ditawarkan bagi mahasiswa semester 3 dan juga merupakan mata kuliah dasar terkait linguistik yang dipelajari oleh mahasiswa program studi S1 Sastra Inggris sebelum mereka mempelajari ilmu-ilmu linguistik yang lainnya. Pengantar linguistik umum bahasa Inggris ini memperkenalkan prinsip-prinsip dasar linguistik dalam bahasa Inggris. Seperti yang telah saya jelaskan sebelumnya, mata kuliah ini adalah mata kuliah dasar dalam linguistik. Mata kuliah ini adalah prasyarat utama bagi para mahasiswa untuk mengambil mata kuliah linguistik yang lainnya. Di dalam mata kuliah ini, mahasiswa akan diperkenalkan pada teori-teori dasar bahasa dan juga teori linguistik, sehingga mereka akan dapat melakukan analisis sederhana pada linguistik dan harapannya mahasiswa akan siap untuk mengambil beberapa mata kuliah yang berkaitan dengan linguistik, seperti fonetik, fonologi, morfologi, semantik, pragmatik, sosiolinguistik, dan ilmu lainnya yang berkaitan dengan linguistik. Selanjutnya adalah kemampuan yang diharapkan dari kelas ini. Pada akhir perkuliahan Introduction to English Linguistics ini, mahasiswa diharapkan dapat menunjukkan penguasaan konsep, teori, format, konten, dan etika dalam penulisan, serta komunikasi dalam bahasa Inggris dan bahasa lainnya. Dan juga mahasiswa diharapkan dapat melakukan penelitian tentang fenomena linguistik yang sederhana. Selain itu, mahasiswa juga diharapkan untuk dapat memecahkan masalah yang muncul sebagai salah satu fenomena ilmu linguistik. Mereka dapat berpikir kritis, logis, sistematis, dan inovatif, serta diharapkan dapat bekerja secara mandiri dan kolaboratif di dalam kelas, menunjukkan rasa hormat dan apresiasi terhadap keragaman dan variasi linguistik, serta dapat membuat keputusan terkait penggunaan bahasa secara tepat dan kontekstual, dan juga dapat menafsirkan, mengevaluasi penggunaan atau fenomena bahasa tertentu. Selain itu, mahasiswa juga diharapkan dapat menunjukkan komitmen untuk memegang etika akademik dalam melakukan analisis linguistik. Sehingga mereka diharapkan dapat lebih kritis dalam memahami dan menganalisis fenomena kebahasaan dalam bidang linguistik. Selanjutnya, saya akan menjelaskan materi pembelajaran. Mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics dirancang dalam 16 kali pertemuan, termasuk ujian tengah semester, ujian akhir semester, latihan-latihan, dan juga progress test. Topik-topik yang diajarkan meliputi, yang pertama, karakter linguistik dan juga perkembangannya. Kedua, karakter bahasa. Ketiga, komunikasi manusia dan komunikasi hewan. Keempat, adalah produksi suara atau biasanya kita kenal dengan sebutan fonetik. Kelima, susunan suara atau fonologi. Keenam, struktur internal kata atau biasanya kita kenal dengan nama morfologi. Ketujuh adalah struktur eksternal kata atau sintaksis. Kemudian kedelapan adalah makna konseptual atau semantik. Yang kesembilan adalah makna kontekstual atau biasanya kita kenal dengan sebutan pragmatik. Dan yang terakhir adalah linguistik dan kaitannya dengan masyarakat di sekitar kita atau kita kenal dengan sebutan sosiolinguistik. Terkait sistem pembelajaran dan juga mode perkuliahan. Sistem pembelajaran dan mode perkuliahan yang saya gunakan dalam mengampu mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics ini selama masa pandemik adalah dilaksanakan secara daring, yaitu dengan menggunakan aplikasi Zoom dan juga Learning Management System atau LMS yang dikenal dengan sebutan belajar.usd.ac.id. Namun setelah melewati masa pandemik, perkuliahan dilaksanakan secara tatap muka di dalam kelas selama 16 kali pertemuan. Perkuliahan Introduction to English Linguistics ini disampaikan dengan beberapa metode seperti belajar mandiri, kerja kelompok, ceramah, latihan-latihan soal, kemudian didiskusikan bersama, presentasi, dan juga menggunakan Learning Management System, yaitu belajar.usd.ac.id. Selain itu, aktivitas pembelajaran di dalam Introduction to English Linguistics ini dibagi menjadi beberapa bagian. Yang pertama adalah aktivitas sebelum kelas, yaitu dosen memberikan beberapa instruksi sehingga mahasiswa dapat mempersiapkan diri sebelum masuk kelas. Selanjutnya, seperti membaca buku, mengobservasi fenomena kebahasaan yang ada, atau menonton video. Semuanya itu akan diletakkan di dalam LMS tersebut. Aktivitas kedua adalah aktivitas di dalam kelas yang meliputi ceramah, latihan-latihan soal, kemudian diskusi, dan juga pembahasan sesuai dengan referensi yang terkait. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan aktivitas ketiga, yaitu aktivitas setelah kelas. Jadi mahasiswa diberikan beberapa pertanyaan refleksi terkait apa yang sudah dia pelajari di dalam kelas tersebut. Atau juga bisa diberikan sebuah pekerjaan rumah. Selanjutnya adalah sistem penilaian mata kuliah. Sistem penilaian dalam mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics ini meliputi latihan sebesar 30%. Jadi akan terdapat 3 assignments dalam semester ini. Dan ini termasuk penilaian keaktifan serta kehadiran mahasiswa. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan progress test 1 dan juga progress test 2, di mana masing-masing berbobot 15%, sehingga totalnya adalah 30%. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan ujian tengah semester yang berbobot 20% dan juga ujian akhir semester yang berbobot 20%. Selanjutnya adalah rubrik penilaian. Berikut adalah teknik penilaian dan indikator yang digunakan untuk mengevaluasi hasil belajar mahasiswa dalam mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics. Terdapat indikator yang diterapkan dalam setiap topik. Misalnya saja saya ambilkan satu contoh, yaitu pada topik ke-9, terkait contextual meaning atau pragmatic. Indikator penilaian yang saya gunakan adalah keakuratan siswa dalam memahami dan menafsirkan makna kontekstual dalam sebuah ujaran atau percakapan. Selanjutnya adalah video pembelajaran. Berikut adalah video pembelajaran dalam kelas Introduction to English Linguistics. Saya mengambil salah satu materi di topik 9, yaitu contextual meaning atau lebih dikenal dengan sebutan pragmatics. Mari kita simak rekaman perkuliahan berikut ini. Selamat menyaksikan. Hello, good morning everyone. Good morning. How are you today? Fine. So, do you still remember about our previous activities or previous meeting? Yes. What is it about? Semantic. Do you still remember about semantic? Yeah or no? Okay. Well, everyone. So, today we would like to continue our material. This is about pragmatics because, yeah, in Introduction to English Linguistics, after we learn about semantics, it will be continued with pragmatics. So, before that, I will explain about the lesson learning outcomes for today's class. So, the first one is students are able to contextually interpret and analyze the meaning of particular utterances. So, I hope you can understand the meaning behind the context, yeah, of the conversations. And then, students are able to conduct mini research on particular linguistic data. Yeah. Later, you will learn how to analyze the data. Yeah. And the last one is students are able to show comprehension and appreciation for linguistic diversity and variety. Okay, let's start. Yeah. Look at the following picture. What is the meaning of go and brush your teeth? Anyone? Just raise your hand, please. Oh yeah, Eugene, please.
I think the character Jack is telling Nathaniel to go to sleep.
To go to sleep. How do you know, Eugene?
Because usually when you go to sleep, you have to brush your teeth first. So Jack is telling like, go brush your teeth and then you can go to sleep. But Nathaniel doesn't want to sleep yet.
Okay, yeah. Do you agree with this? Yeah, well, actually, go and brush your teeth. It means that, yeah, Jack's force Nathanael to go to sleep. Although Nathanael is not sleepy. Yeah, that's how we interpret the meaning from this picture. Okay, now I have questions for you, everyone. What is the difference between pragmatics and other branches of linguistics? Please think about this. Yeah, what is the difference between pragmatics and other branches of linguistics? I believe that you have read the book, The Study of Language. Oh, yeah, Lucia, please.
In my opinion, pragmatics is a study about the context of language and how we use that context to the meaning.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, any other idea? Anyone? Oh yeah, Marcel, please.
I think pragmatics is a specific study of linguistics that focuses on the interaction between users and natural language.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for the answer, everyone. Yeah, so pragmatics is the study of contextual meaning. So in pragmatics, meaning is very important. Yeah, according to Yule, the study of contextual meaning communicated by a speaker or writer and interpreted by a listener or a reader. That's why we have to understand, we have to have a background knowledge about a certain context. Okay. According to Morris, the study of the relation of signs to their interpreters. And the last one, according to the Fromkin, pragmatic is concerned with our understanding of language in context. That's why context is very important in pragmatics. Okay. So, this is the 4 key concepts, the important things in pragmatics. This is about the speaker meaning, about the contextual meaning, and then about what is more gets communicated than it says, and then about relative distance. Nah, you have a green light. Okay. Think about this sentence. What is the meaning of you have a green light? Anyone want to try? Okay, Eugene.
I think you have a green light means you possess a green light bulb.
You possess a green light bulb. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Eugene. take a look at the first key concept of pragmatic. Pragmatic is the study of speaker's meaning. So you have a green light. It can it could mean so many, meaning, like you possess a light bulb that is tint green, and also you are driving through a green traffic signal, and then you can start driving and no longer have to wait in the traffic light, and you are permitted to continue what you plan to do. And it also can be has a meaning that the space that belongs to you has the green lighting, but it's according to the context. Okay. So far, do you have any questions? Is it clear? Okay, let's continue with the second meaning, key concept of pragmatics. So pragmatics is the study of contextual meaning. So it involves the interpretations of what people means in particular context and how the context influence what it means. Okay, so now I have something to you. Wait a minute. What is the meaning of Shakespeare here? Anyone? Shakespeare. You can borrow my Shakespeare book. Any other idea? Book. How about you, Krisanti? You can borrow my Shakespeare. What is Shakespeare?
It refers to the book that is written by Shakespeare or any other of his work.
Okay, so it refers to the book that is written by Shakespeare. How do you know? How do you know, Krisanti?
Because he's a renowned author, and when we say Shakespeare, so you already know, it's about the book.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Because we know that Shakespeare is the author of the books. Okay. Now take a look at the second picture. Nah, my 11:30 canceled, so I had an early lunch. What is the meaning of my 11:30 canceled? Okay, Teresa, what is the meaning of my 11:30?
I think it's the time of appointment.
Okay, the time of appointment. Okay, so how do you know that this is the time of appointment?
Because when we make an appointment, we make a time, like a agreement.
Okay, good, Well, because when we do an appointment, so we usually see the time, take the time for the appointment. Okay, good. And then next, in order for a conversations to be successful, so the speaker and the listener must have a certain level of shared context. So you have to know about presupposition and entailment. Have you ever heard about presupposition and entailment? So this is a presupposition. Something the speaker assumes to be the fact before making an utterances. Speakers, not sentence, have presuppositions. Okay, and about entailment, something that logically follows from what is asserted in the utterances. Sentence, not speakers, have entailment. Okay, this is the examples, everyone. Okay, think about this. What are the presuppositions of the speaker who says, "Where did Thaddeus find the money? Mario regrets buying that car." Okay, think about this. 1 minute. You can search the answer, or you may discuss with your friends. It's okay. Just discuss. Okay, finish? Finish? Okay, number 1. Where did Thaddeus find the money?
Maybe Thaddeus found the money somewhere.
Okay, Thaddeus find the money somewhere. Do you agree with Laura? Yes? Okay, and then Agnes? Oh Agnes, huh?
I think it's Thaddeus for the money that he found.
Okay, So, everyone, presupposition. So, it happens when in the sentence when it used to be the activity that happened before the sentence that it is provided by someone. So take a look at the first example. Where did Thaddeus find the money? We can think that Thaddeus found a money, right? oh, Thaddeus find a money somewhere, something like that. That's what we call by presuppositions. Okay. And then number 2, Mario regrets buying that car. Mario bought a car. Okay, yeah. Mario regrets buying that car. It means that, yeah, Mario bought the car. Okay. Yeah, good. So far, is it clear for you? Yes? Next, we'll continue with the third key concept. Pragmatics is a study on how more gets communicated than said. Okay, so a great deal of what is unsaid is recognized as part of what is communicated. Okay. Next, I will give you an example from this. The meaning that the speaker wanted to deliver without explicitly expressing it in the utterances is called implicature. This is the example of implicature. Take a look at example 1, everyone. Okay. Charlene, I hope you brought the bread and the cheese. And then Dexter said, I brought the bread. So what is the meaning of this dialogue? Dexter? Yeah, Dexter did not bring the cheese. Okay. Example 2, when the Charlene said, how do you like your hamburger? And then Dexter still eating the hamburger, and then he said, a hamburger is a hamburger. Yeah, it means that we can take the meaning that the hamburger tastes as usual. Yeah, he has no opinion whether this is good or bad, something like that. One example of the other implicature. If I say, did you buy the cheesecake? And then I say, oh my God, what is the meaning of these conversations?
Your friend didn't buy the cheesecake based on the expression like, oh my God,
Oh my God.
a shocking expression, like forgot something.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we know that from the conversation that my friends didn't buy the cheesecake because, oh my God, it indicates that perhaps he or she forgot about that he or she didn't buy the cheesecake, something like that. Okay, is it clear for the implicature? Yes, okay. Next, the last key concept of pragmatics. Okay, so pragmatics is the study of relative distance. Okay, so the choice of what, how much is being said or unsaid is determined by the distance. For example, when you are very close with your best friends, and then you just say, this hot, and then your best friend just turn on the air conditioners. Nah, that's distance. What the meaning of the distance? Yeah, in the pragmatics. Okay, the distance can be physical and then social or psychological. Okay, so this is one of the example of pragmatics is a study of relative distance. I will continue with the exercise, everyone. Number 1 until number 4. Okay, yeah, let's continue. Number 1, can I borrow your Shakespeare? Okay, Kat.
Shakespeare here means a book written by Shakespeare.
Okay, a book written by Shakespeare. How do you know that this is a book written by Shakespeare?
Because Shakespeare is a famous writer and you can't literally borrow.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, because Shakespeare is a well-known writer, and we know that he wrote lots of books. Yeah. Okay. Next, number 2, Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. What is Shakespeare here? What is the meaning of Shakespeare? Refers to what? Yeah, Dita, please. The author. Okay, how do you know, Dita? Yeah. So, Shakespeare, number 2, is the author because Hamlet here is the title of the book that was written by Shakespeare. Good. And then number 3, we bought ticket for Shakespeare tonight. How about number 3? Yeah, L.
I think from number 3 is performance based on tickets, the keyword of tickets itself. So performance of players.
Yeah. So number 3, Shakespeare means the performance, yeah. Well, I don't know, because perhaps it's usually a drama musical, something like that, yeah. Okay, good, thank you, L. And then number 4, the last. The library should provide a special room for Shakespeare. What is the meaning of Shakespeare here? Okay, yeah, Lucia, please.
I think for number 4, the Shakespeare is a reverse to the Shakespeare's works. Because the keyword I think in the library, and the library is also related to books.
Okay.
As you know, Shakespeare wrote several books, and they're all like the known books. And
Okay.
I think like the special room is the special room for Shakespeare's book.
Okay, yeah, good. Try to identify the presupposition. 1 until 4. 1 minute, presupposition. Number 1, Mary's dog is cute. What is the meaning of this? Yeah, Kat, please, Kat. Mary has a dog. Yeah, good. Mary has a dog. Okay, any other idea? Take a look number 2. He pretends to be ill. What is the presupposition of this? Yeah, he is lying. He is not ill. Okay, good. Okay. Number 3. It wasn't Henry who kissed Jane. How about this? Yeah. Jane is kissed by someone else. Okay. Any other idea? Number 3. Yeah, Jane is kissed by someone else. It wasn't Henry who kissed Jane. Someone says that perhaps Henry kissed Jane. Okay, yeah. And then number 4, he stopped smoking. What is the presupposition of this? Yeah, he's supposed to smoke. Supposed to be smoke. Okay, good. Yeah. So far, is it clear for presupposition? Clear. Okay. One more exercise, everyone. Implicature. Yeah, number 1 until number 4. Okay, number 1. Did you invite Belle and Carrie? I invite Belle. What is the implicature of this conversation? They didn't not invite Carrie. How do you know, everyone?
Because he or she just mentioned that.
Yeah, B just mentioned Belle. Okay, good. Number 2, hey, coming to the party tonight. My parents are visiting. How about this conversation?
They couldn't join the party.
Okay, B couldn't join the party. Yeah. Why? Yeah, because he or her or his parents are coming. Okay, good. Next, number 3. Did you buy the milk? Oops. How about this? What is the implicature of this? Yeah, B didn't buy milk. Okay, the milk. How do you know B didn't buy the milk?
Because the expression of oops.
Yeah, the expression of oops. Yeah. Oh, I forget. Okay. Next, last one. Can you sing? Can birds fly? How about this? Obviously, yes, I can sing. Okay, yeah. So this is how you have to understand the context, yeah, in the conversations. Okay, is it clear for the implicature? Yes. Okay. Do you have any questions for all the material for today? All clear enough? Okay, good. Now, for the next week, we still continue with the homework, everyone. So you will have a homework. Please check at the Study of Language book on George Yule, page 102. Okay, I have attached the material on the LMS. So please check your LMS. See you, everyone. Bye. Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye. Demikian gambaran perkuliahan dari mata kuliah Introduction to English Linguistics. Semoga dapat bermanfaat dan menginspirasi. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.